Again, I'm more than happy to show the recordings and give it to you tonight. I can go in person and give it to anybody because the way how she was speaking to my wife is completely unacceptable.
Sorry, I am whispering. Paul is downstairs on the phone calling the doctor's office that we went to for the OBGYN. Yeah, we're gonna make a complaint, like, we're doing the whole full thing because that doctor was ridiculous and was very rude and unprofessional. And I never do this, but if the medical team pushes me that far and we're just so disrespectful, we're gonna place a complaint.
Again, I'm more than happy to show the recordings and give it to you tonight. I can go in person and give it to anybody because the way how she was speaking to my wife is completely unacceptable. And if one of those managers comes saying, oh, the doctor's just doing her job, that's gonna make the situation 10 times worse. Now I understand the way how she was talking to my wife is very discriminatory because that's the way how she was saying things and coming off. And my wife was asking, is this how you treat every patient? No, not every patient, just some people.
With my unique case.
And my wife is, you're discriminating her because she has other chronic health issues or something. Like that, the way how she was saying it, I'm telling you right now, on the recording, and we showed other people, it's discriminatory. That's why I don't want this to just fall on deaf ears because the way how the doctor handled us, I cannot imagine her handling other patients the same way, and that's ridiculous.
Like, guys, I'm thinking about reporting her to ADA.
Hey, is there like any other office that they go to that I can call? Like, I'm not sure. Like, I know you said they float around, but you know, like, what happens if someone needs to speak to them? You know what I mean?
Have an issue resolved. Paul's pacing.
I would love to speak to somebody today before the weekend because it needs to be resolved.
Orion's pacing too. So, Paul, how was that phone call?
So I feel bad, honestly, for the girl who answers because I call and I always try to speak to the receptionist, and it's leave a message, scheduling, leave a message. Every department is always leave a message, they'll call you back. But the billing department is this one girl who always answers. So she is unfortunately the one who gets my fury and wrath. It's not her fault, I know it's not, but I just express my concern very strongly to her so that we can get it resolved. And I'm not blaming this girl. She told me that she has emailed the two managers. There's a clinical manager as well as a different department of manager. So she emailed both of them. She spoke to one of them over the phone earlier and said, hey, this is a situation that's going on. That manager said, yes, I'm currently trying to speak to the other manager and to the doctor so they can get more research and more investigative done to see what happened from the doctor side before they actually call us and speak to us. And I told this girl, I was like, make sure that you tell them that I have the recording of the doctor being discriminatory towards my wife and being disrespectful and rude towards her in a ridiculous way. And she's like, I notated all of that. And she's like, that's probably why they're not just calling you instantly, because since you have that proof, they want to see what does the doctor say before we show them what happened. That's what's going on.
So guys, let us go upstairs and explain and tell you the full story. So guys, we are upstairs, as you can tell. Guys, yesterday or Thursday's appointment was it was a lot. So we're gonna start from the beginning. We walk inside. The receptionist was sweet. She didn't give Paul much of an issue. Like, no. She just said that Paul couldn't go in the back.
So she said that only the patients are allowed in the back, and that's it. That's all she said. And I was like, oh, but the last time they did allow me in the back, did something change? And she's like, oh, you probably came pre-COVID. I was like, no, we came in June. And she goes, okay, well, that's only for OB patients. And I was like, well, we're seeing the OB today. And she's like, okay, well, I don't know. You can go into the back and ask the doctor. And I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. I understand, like, she may not know everything. That's perfectly fine. That's so Janice, when you get in the back, you ask, and no big deal. We go sit in a corner. I am not even taking up a chair so that, you know, I'm far away from everybody, and I'm not also taking up one of their chairs because they have much less, obviously, because of social distancing.
I see in the corner of my eye another receptionist walking towards us. Now, guys, she was walking towards us with an attitude, and heated, as if we broke the law.
Yeah.
And just started looking at Paul. No, sir, you cannot be in here. No, just how she was acting, she made it seem like we broke the rules. So I chimed in. I was like, ma'am, no one actually told us about this rule. Oh, well, you gotta get out. You gotta leave.
And mind you, if someone just comes and says, hey, I'm sorry, but we're only allowing the patients to wait in the waiting room. Anyone else has to wait outside. I understand. I'm not gonna go off on someone who's being nice to me just because I don't agree with the rule. No, not at all. If you came to me and say, hey, I'm sorry, you can't wait. Hey, no big deal. Thank you for telling me. I'll go wait outside. Not a big deal. But if you come off at me instantaneously with an attitude, that's where the problem is. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I have the right to wait inside. It's just the way how you talk to people. That's the problem here.
So he started walking away, and she was still kind of being very rude. And he was like, ma'am, you do not need to be nasty about the situation.
Yeah,
and
she was like saying snarky comments under her breath.
Yeah. So from there, they tell me like maybe 5 minutes later that to give a urine sample. Some of you guys do or do not know, whenever you go to an OB or gyno, they would like a urine sample. So I am there waiting, and I'm noticing they are not cleaning out the restrooms in between each person using it. Now, mind you, in June they were, and I loved it. And when I saw that, I was like, nah, I really don't want to. And during this period, there was like already 6 women who came and went. So then I just got up, walked over, and I was like, ma'am, is it possible if someone can clean the bathrooms in between each person like you guys did in June? I really love that. She didn't have no issue. And she's like, yes, no problem. But by then, that's when they called me back. So I go back there, and the first person I see is the doctor's nurse practitioner. She was amazing. She was sweet, understanding, I mean, great bedside manner. And of course now, mind you guys, while we are talking to all these medical staffs, hey, he couldn't be in here, but I would love for him to be on the phone during this appointment because he has done his own research and has his own questions. And everybody said yes. The doctor comes in. Guys, this was like a 2-hour process. I mean, it took forever just to see the doctor.
The first time we went to the appointment, where the one that I was allowed in the back in June, the appointment, for example, was at 1, and we were out by like 1:40. Like, we were in, they took care of us, they did everything, and we were out in a reasonable amount of time. This appointment, we actually showed up 10 minutes early, like we always do for doctor's appointments, and Janice was in there for 2 hours. And 90% of the time, 90% of the time, waiting. She wasn't with somebody, talking or anything. I was in the car. I had time to go pump gas, chill in the car. I watched lots of YouTube videos.
So if you guys watch the vlog that we do see the OBGYN, I will have it right above, so you guys can definitely check that out. There is a clip that I do add that I let the doctor know, hey, my husband's on the phone, like, we're excited for this appointment. I could tell when she came in, I rubbed her the wrong way. I still haven't met her fully. We only met her for 2 minutes in June, and apparently I rubbed her the wrong way. She came in, and I told her my husband was on the phone, and she's like, no, there's just way too much going on here. Like, we need to get through this.
Mind you, every other doctor's appointment that Janice has ever had where I'm not allowed in the back, which is understandable, and Janice goes, hey, my husband's on the phone, they go, that's perfect. They love it because at least there's another person here to help in the situation, whatever we need or whatever she needs, which, again, sometimes she forgets some things, sometimes I forget some things. There are questions that she does not think of that I ask, and this is why we make a good team, and this is why we're always together in doctor's appointments.
Like, it just works out for us the best, because guys, you guys know it, the brain fog can be real. So once she says that, I was kind of shocked, and I was like, oh, okay, sorry, I guess I have to go, because it was like the first time a doctor said that to me. From there, once again, you guys do see in the previous vlog a little bit, I have a lot of organization, everything is beautiful. I have a calendar showing my menstrual cycle, color coordinated. She kind of threw all my paperwork on the counter and was like, this is way too much. There must be something a mental issue. Literally, those were the first words out of her mouth.
Saying, you're crazy.
Yeah, and I literally had to take a deep breath. So some of you guys may be thinking, did you go off instantly? Guys, it took me, I won't lie, like maybe 10 seconds to process what she said, because I was like, this is not happening right now. Wait, what? I was in shock, guys.
Janice is getting stressed, that's why I write.
Yeah. Oh my god. Good boy. There was a point in the appointment, me and her were kind of like talking over each other. We were like getting up pretty loud. She insinuated multiple times that some of my blood work was faked and that I faked them somehow. At that point, she's just like, oh yeah, there's something is wrong here. Something doesn't add up right. She started asking questions. It sounds weird, not much about my conditions. Like, you can tell she barely looked over my information. Certain times I tried to talk to her about my conditions and what they were and tried to refer her to the page that would best help her in the way I was explaining it. And she would just cut me off. Yeah, I know, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, I see it. And she, to me, did not look past my notes and everything more than 5 seconds. But she already had a notion of me. She, out of nowhere, starts saying, well, we need to figure out if this is right for you. And I was like, excuse me? And me thinking, I was like, oh, she must be talking about my conditions. Like, in a sense that I must be crazy to try to pass down my conditions to my child. So that's why she would like me to get checked out. Did not go into any of my history. Instead, she went into my background. She's like, we need to get checked out. We need to have you checked out and see how your past history was, how your upbringing was, how your relationship with your husband is,
your home life, how your childhood was, and all these like things that have nothing to do with having a child.
Yeah, and guys, like again, we have it on recording. Like, she says it verbatim exactly like that. And she would just say my home life, my background, all that. And she really didn't go much into the condition aspect. She didn't want to be educated. And at one point, she saw narcolepsy. I'm pretty sure she got it mixed up with epilepsy because she's like, oh, you had that condition? Oh no, I can't even see you pregnant. Like, I can't even see that happening. And of course, then she goes on to my age, my youth, how I'm looking, and she's just like, that's not normal. And I just ask her, okay, I am being polite. There's certain points I am very polite. And I was like, okay, can you tell me what is normal? What is considered normal? And she's just like, well, people at your age are maybe taking 2 medications. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't think people my age are all exactly the same. We're all different and unique in our own ways.
I saw a comment from somebody on another video, and I loved it. And it was someone with chronic illnesses, and they go, just because of my age, and I have something that is not normal for my age, does not make it any less valid. So just because you're 20, 22, 25, 26, whatever it is, and you have narcolepsy, you have mouths, you have this, you have 4 or 5 different things, or 1 or 2 different things, it doesn't matter. It does not make it any less valid or any less of an actual problem for you just because you're young.
Now, there was a point that I already saw how the appointment was going. I did see. And in a sense, it seemed like, from what the recordings you heard, of course, it seemed like she felt like people with disabilities shouldn't reproduce.
Yeah, that's the way how she came off. Like, if you are not in peak physical, mental health, everything, don't have children, don't reproduce.
Guys, I literally said it straight up flat. Like, she was kind of being very loud towards me. I was like, man, look, I was like, please, let's stop. I have been doing this for a while, and I've noticed in the medical field, doctors are put on a high pedestal and they need to feel like they need to know everything. And I told her, it is okay to say, I don't know. It is okay to say you are a very complicated case and I don't know if I'm capable of handling you. And I told her, it is okay to say it. And I was like, this is your time to say it, and I'm more than happy to walk away. But I told her, please don't come in here or come into any appointment with the patient and just straight up say they must have a mental condition or they need to get checked out. And when I said that, you could tell I struck her ego, and she's like, no, I can definitely handle you, but you know, I need you to get checked out. That was the weird thing about the appointment, was she said multiple times, no, you can't get pregnant, it's not a good idea. I asked her clearly, I was like, okay, so if I get checked out by a psychiatrist, will you then treat me? Oh, yes, of course. And I brought it up, so it's not my conditions that are stopping you. I was like, I don't understand. Now, another issue I had with this doctor was I didn't just go in there for pregnancy. I also have other concerns that I did bring up to her. She literally ignored practically all those concerns and pretty much said everything was mental. My pelvic pain was mental, you know, I am having unique chest pains. That was mental. When she saw, I feel like all my paperwork and how organized I was, it counted against me, and I already knew that. I felt that, and she was not happy. Honestly, guys, so much happened in the doctor's appointment, and there's probably a lot more, but I cannot remember right now. Like, you hear me in the recording, and I'm very calm, cool, collective. You know, I had some of my close friends out there listen to it, and they were like, I don't know how you stay composed, because I am talking to her very respectfully but stern, and you hear she's like, I don't know why. Once you heard mental, you went just, and I was like, it's not that I went anything, it's just the way you came in here and the way you are talking to me, approaching all this is not good bedside manner.
It's not appropriate for a doctor to be talking to you that way.
And you hear her very snarky at me in the appointment, so...
Oh yeah, when Janice was talking, you hear she goes, are you finished? Are you finished? Are you finished? And like Janice will be talking and she keeps going, are you finished? Are you finished?
The appointment was pretty much useless. I didn't get anything out of it. I will be reporting the doctor. A lot of you guys were saying, report her, report her. Yeah, she was just so horrible. I don't think anybody could have handled her. Like, somebody else who wasn't me, mentally strong, probably would have cracked under the pressure, cried, and just let her belittle other patients. And I don't want other people to go through that. Yeah, I kind of walked out. She walked out, and I was like, oh. I called Paul. I was like, yeah, this was horrible. And just walked out. I was supposed to wait for some paperwork, and I was like, I don't need anything from this doctor.
So once Janice walked out of the appointment, that's where we showed you that clip on the other video where Janice was pissed.
Yeah, I was not happy.
So obviously in those situations, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be flustered, and you're going to want to rip someone's head off with your bare hands.
So guys, even the best of us can have these types of appointments, but always think, how is the best way to handle it? It is okay, 100% okay. If the doctor says something rude that you do not like, you get up in the middle of the appointment and say, goodbye, and just walk out. It is okay to do that because you know you're being put in a situation that you cannot handle mentally. Even the best of us have those rough moments, and I even still feel like I did not do enough, I didn't advocate enough, but if you listen to the recording, you know, some people say you did great. Always stand your ground, and if you feel like you can't stand your ground, it is okay to walk away from the situation. So guys, it's fine to always stand your ground, and it's fine to walk away. There's nothing wrong with that. You do what is best for you in the end, and how you think your body's gonna handle it afterwards.
Sometimes you have to go through these lows, but guess what? Next doctor we're gonna find, I know is going to be absolutely amazing for us. Is going to be a great addition to Janice's medical team. So guys, please like, share, subscribe. It helps us, you know, grow our channel that much more and spread as much awareness as possible, because at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to do here, spread as much awareness. We have links in the description below for both Orion's Instagram, so you can check out his service dog journey, as well as our Patreon. Patreon is another platform that we use. What we do is we post Patreon only content, behind the scenes, cool stuff that we're doing, Patreon only vlogs, early access to certain vlogs, and we even offer one-on-one Skype sessions with us, the Raw Life family. So guys, if that's something that you're interested in, check the description below and you'll see the link to that.
So guys, as you guys can tell, Orion is taking a chill and he's gonna sign off with us. For now, adieu and goodbye!